Coucou! Welcome to Prof Moderne. My name is Wendy, or as my students know me, Madame Foz. Because of the nature of our jobs now, I felt that it would be important and useful to discuss organization. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to stay organized in your virtual space. Plus, I want to demonstrate the steps that I take to ensure that all of my things have a place to be, so they don't end up in your Google Drive, never to be found again, lost in this bottomless void.
So here's my drive for Google Classroom. Let's click on French for this year. Within this folder, I have then 3 folders split for each of the levels that I teach, upper levels being 3 and 4. When we click on French 1, we see then even more folders. Each of these folders corresponds to different type of content that I am creating for the class, putting them in their respective folder for file type, and the 3 periods that I teach French 1. The video files folder is going to create video lessons that I post and have the students watch. Audio files is going to have things that I record that I want French to listen to. And then we have Google Slides, where I have the presentations that I show to them during our Zoom calls.
So that particular slideshow in the French 1 folder was actually an import from a previous year's lesson that I had done for French 1, and that's why you see it still as like a PowerPoint format, but typically I like to keep things as Google Slides. I want to reiterate the importance of making sure that you have a space for everything. Anticipating how many virtual files we're probably going to be having going into the school year, I think it's important to establish from the very beginning a space where you're going to be storing all of those things, because as I mentioned before, unless you have this space created prior to going into this virtual learning and virtual teaching, all of this stuff is going to end up just amassing in your main Google Drive folder. So I found this system to really work for me, and I hope it's something that you can find yourself implementing as well.
The French 2 folder is organized in pretty much the same way, but in this folder I have a couple of additional folders, the one of them being rubrics, because French 2's already had a speaking activity. The other folder that I have additional is Google Sheets. This was something that I used in an activity that I did with them recently that I felt went really well, and I'll describe that in a different video.
To clarify a little bit, I like putting the materials that I create in a folder that is specific to the level, as opposed to putting the materials in the specific class period for that level. The reason that I keep those folders free of any materials is because that then creates a situation where
the class folders are now free to house only the assignments that have been turned in through Google Classroom.
Yeah. So when you create an assignment, say you create an assignment that has an attachment you personally added to that assignment, or you created an assignment that is requiring the students to then go in and attach something, a folder is automatically created by Google. And this folder is going to be called the same thing as what you called the assignment that you gave to your students. So if we keep the specific class periods folder free of any content that we're creating, we then leave that folder to be clutter-free and have that folder be exclusively student work, as opposed to both student work and resources we've created for those classes. All right, and here's one more step that we can take to further organize ourselves and simplify our lives for our future selves.
I'm going to start by going to the slide I created for that unit. So you can right-click the slide, and then you want to choose Make a Copy. Because I don't have a folder created yet, I'm going to go back to my main drive and I'm going to create a folder for this particular unit. Remember, you can use the navigator bar. I'm going to right-click just anywhere that I have space in my drive, select New Folder, and I've titled the folder according to theme. Now I can go back to my slides folder, select move to, and within this box I can choose where I want to move it. So I'm moving it to the unit for this particular theme. And now when I click the unit, I have a copy of the slideshow located within it.
So I personally enjoy this way of organizing things because now I have all of my like materials in one place. Like all of my docs are in one place, all of my slides are in one place, but then I've also created an additional space that has all of the content for that particular unit in one place. This makes it easy to access those things from multiple locations. So now you're organized in two different ways, and you are ascending to some like godly level of organization. Like I mean, by this point, you'll just have like some majestic aura just around you because you've mastered organization. Okay, so let's say that you have finished a unit, or maybe you finished 2 units by now, and you're finding that these units are now taking up space within that levels folder. Here are some steps that you can take to make sure that you're keeping your space as clutter-free as possible.
So say some time's gone past and we have several units created. Now what we can do is make a folder that's specifically for all of those units that we've made. So we make this unit folder, and then now we can put all of the units that we've made into this one unit folder. So when you want to go back at a later point and revisit those units, they're all within that one unit folder, and you have simplified your life by like 100 times.
As always, merci beaucoup for watching my videos. I hope that you found some of these tips helpful. Also, if you would like any additional information about how I keep my content organized, please feel free to leave me a comment. Or if you kind of just want to let me know how I'm doing, that would really make me happy just to know that what I'm doing is helpful for you, because it'll definitely keep me wanting to come back and share my expertise. See you in the next video. Ciao.